Well, intellectuals are workout warriors of the mind, regularly breaking down old ideas to allow new ideas and bigger ideas and better ideas to grow in their place. Are you an intellectual? Or will you? I suspect you are not only celebrating, but you're also thinking about what is next. When I say thinking about what is next, I'm not talking about you thinking about what is next in your career. I don't want to talk about that today. Enough people have talked to you about that already. I want to talk to you about what is next for your mind now that you will be a doctoral recipient. What is next for your mind now that you will have those 3 letters by your name? What is next for your mind now that some people will call you doctor? And I say some people because your parents are not going to call you doctor. You'll always be your mother's or your father's baby, even if you have a doctorate degree. The point of my address is to ask you a very simple question. Are you an intellectual? I know you have earned your doctorate degree, but I'm asking, are you an intellectual? I'm asking this question because you need to know that having a doctorate does not make you an intellectual. Becoming a professor does not make you an intellectual. Working in a research lab does not make you an intellectual. Thinking at a think tank does not make you an intellectual. It is so embarrassing, but there are doctorates who are not intellectuals. Just like there are MDs who are not healers, just like there are JDs who are not about justice, just like there are reverends who are not about God. Isn't that a tragedy? A tragedy walking, a reverend who is not about God. Isn't that a tragedy walking? A JD who is not about justice. Isn't that a tragedy walking? An MD who is not a healer. Isn't that a tragedy walking? A doctorate holder who is not an intellectual. Do not become that person. Today, you are joining an illustrious academy of doctoral recipients. But I want to talk to you today about joining an even more illustrious academy of intellectuals. No doctorate degree is required to join the intellectual academy. This is an inclusive academy with all types of people coming from all types of backgrounds. There are people with only a GED in this intellectual academy. There are incarcerated people in this intellectual academy. There are homeless people in this intellectual academy. There are poor people in this intellectual academy. So when I say intellectual, I'm not referring to someone who knows a wealth of information. All of you, I'm sure, know a lot. You know a lot about your discipline and your field and your research. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here waiting for me to finish this speech so you can get your degree already and go to dinner. I've sort of learned the hard way that standing between students and their degrees is unwise, and standing between American families and their food is really unwise. But please bear with me. I do not measure a person's intellect based on how much a person knows. I do not consider myself an intellectual because I know a lot about American history. How much you know has no bearing on how much you are an intellectual. I define, and many others define, an intellectual as someone with a tremendous desire to know. Intellectuals have a tremendous capacity to change their minds on matters, to self-reflect, to self-critique. Intellectuals are only governed by one special interest, and that special interest is rarely self-serving. And that special interest is finding and revealing the truth. All of you will be getting your doctoral degrees, but how many of you have a tremendous desire to know? How many of your minds are wide open to new ideas? How many of you are searching for ideas that challenge how you see the world? How many of you are willing to look differently at the world with the blink of new evidence? How many of you are critiquing your own ideas as intensely as you critique the ideas of others? Intellectuals are a nomadic people, constantly changing their conceptual location, constantly in search of a better conceptual space. Intellectuals are constantly working out. You know, we have workout warriors of the body, those who pump iron to break down old muscles to allow newer and bigger and better muscles to grow in their place. Well, intellectuals are workout warriors of the mind, regularly breaking down old ideas to allow new ideas and bigger ideas and better ideas to grow in their place. Are you an intellectual? Or would you